Hi everyone, welcome to the 32nd episode of the Zicast. As always, I'm your host Ryan Zayaks, and today I'm joined by comedian Michael Castillo.
Comedian's a pretty big word for me. I rather just have guy or like I don't have a job at the moment, so you know.
I think it's pretty fitting, but we'll get into it further.
All right.
And I'd also like to shout out Madam President Brianna Thatchenberg for being my TD today. I really appreciate it. So Michael, you've been a big fan of the Zicast since day one, so you know what we do here.
I've been an avid fan, bro. I've been listening. It depends on what I do. Sometimes if I'm like on the treadmill, some pop that on, or I'm folding laundry, pop that on. You know what I mean?
Awesome.
And yeah, I've been waiting. I've been texting you.
Patiently
You've been
waiting.
knowing. You've been knowing damn well. You know, and now that I'm here, I'm happy. I got a big grin on my face.
It's been it's been a long time coming, Michael. So how about you tell us a bit about yourself?
Well, I'm a 3+1 comm student here at Quinnipiac, my second year. I'm doing film, and I currently am taking a marketing class for my marketing minor, which is really like just out of my element compared to everything else.
Awesome. And where are you from?
I'm from Manhattan, New York.
Awesome. We'll get into that later as well. So kind of to start off our topics, I'd like to ask you what drew you to comedy and acting.
I'd say that I really just I didn't have much of a drama background. Like I didn't do theater really or anything like that. But I just figured like it could be fun. Right? That's how you get into like things. Like it's fun. Like you know. And I'm happy I did it. Like I joined Q tonight because I met a lot of good people there, you know. Like my roommate at the time, Jacob, you know him.
Yeah.
Like we went together just to see like, you know, what was going on because I wanted to get involved, right? Like I didn't want to be I'm not going to shame anyone who like stay in their room all day, but I didn't want to be a bum. You know, and during this past summer, low-key I felt bummy cuz I didn't do much outside of like office work. And yeah, man, it's just like it gets me doing something, you know, and I know that's not really anything to do with like particularly just it being acting, but it is just like a fun thing to do. Like I just like enjoy doing it with like my friends, you know.
Yeah. I forgot to preface it when I was introducing you that you're a part of the cast for Quinnipiac tonight.
Yeah.
And you've been there since I've gotten there last year. And I mean, I certainly test to like wanting to hit the ground running when I first got to school. Like, I mean, I was the first year at Quinnipiac last year too, because I transferred in. So I was in the same situation where like I wanted to get involved, and then Quinnipiac tonight, and I heard about something like, oh, it's like SNL, but here at Quinnipiac, and I jumped on it, and you did too, and you've had quite the successful run now.
Have I?
I would say so.
I can't watch like I gonna hold you. I can't watch like those the re-uploads or not re-uploads or just like when they get uploaded on YouTube on the like Q30 channel, because like I mean you know the experience, right? Like you just seeing yourself like on the screen is like,
yeah,
right, especially like audience. It's like, oh man, I don't know, it's just something stupid like that. It's like it just gets to you.
I get what you mean.
But
Yeah.
it is very fun in the moment. But I like to keep it in the moment. Like I don't want
Exactly.
I don't want to see that shit. No.
No, I totally get it. Like whenever I've been in like sketches and stuff, like when I see myself, I'm like but like even like the ones I've made as a producer, even though I'm very proud of it and everyone's so talented, I always like critique. You always critique your own work more, so you see it.
You always like think, oh, I could have changed that, or I could have fixed that.
I could have done this better, and oh, I could have gotten this shot better. But like, yeah, that's kind of the thing. Is like we just you kind of grow and learn as you keep doing it. And like, yeah, I like the moment, like saying just to keep it in the moment, because sometimes that's just best. Because it's just hard to look back on it. And kind of moving onwards, we've gotten into how much you like Quinnipiac tonight. So I'd like to ask you kind of what you like most about it and like your goals moving forward being in the club.
Definitely the most I liked about it was the people there. You know, I met a lot of my good friends there. You know, a couple others. My current direct roommate right as of now, EJ Gorman.
Oh, awesome.
You know, he's my sadly he's not doing it this this semester because, you know, he's got a busy plate. My plate's pretty empty, you know, so of course I'm gonna stick with it. But yeah, man, it's just like a lot of good people on there, you know, and that's definitely like the highlight for me. And I was considering like applying for like head writer,
Hmm.
you know, and I just didn't get around to it because like the application required like some evidence of like writing beforehand, and my laptop like blew up. It like shit itself. Like I don't know what the problem was. I never dropped it. I never got it. I never touched like no water, no nothing.
Hmm.
I didn't download no virus. It just wouldn't turn on,
Hmm.
right? But that laptop's always been like just weird, right? I couldn't go on Zoom. It'd just be a black screen. I look like a weirdo because I'm the only one not. You're showing my face, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, now I got a new laptop, but like, if I wanted to apply, I could probably access my stuff now.
Hmm.
You know, and I didn't want to do it on my phone because I just like, whatever, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe sometime I'll either be an AP or head writer. The writing aspect was always like mainly like a highlight for me as well because I wanted to pursue like writing.
Interesting.
And that type of like comedic writing or just like screenplays, something like that in general.
Yeah, awesome. Like being an AP, I can tell you from experience, is very rewarding. And I know you're a film student as well, so
Yes.
it very much fits because you get to kind of like create like little films of your own that go on your reel, that could go on social media, that you can watch in front of a live audience, which is a lot of fun. It's always fun seeing people laugh at your work. So I definitely think that's a perk if you
like
want to go into that in the future.
that might be the best part. Like when people actually laugh, it's like so like rewarding. But when it's like quiet, like damn.
Yeah.
I can't think of it like now, but I know like there's a couple times, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I know. That's like I've talked to like comedians or people who perform. Like silence is one thing that's terrifying when you're on stage. Like just hearing nothing from the audience, like, oh, I'm cooked. Like, yeah. But it's like when you get those reactions, like that's what it's all about. It's like making a movie and going to its premiere. It's like all the hard work that you put into it is like feels worth it.
Someday.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Right.
Someday, and that's something that we're all looking forward to. But I also like to ask you, like, is there any type of character you want to play with Quinnipiac tonight, or do anything else like in cast
I
that you're
don't know.
aspiring to?
By character, the only thing I can think of is like I don't know. I want to play as Nick, or I want to play as like one of the other guys.
That would be sick.
Loki, I could play. I'll play Katie again.
You'd play as Katie?
I'll play as Katie. There's a little hair in my mic.
A little bit
It's
ASMR.
it's a little nasty, huh?
Yeah, it is a
ASMR
little
there.
nasty. Yeah.
There you go.
That I remember, yeah, the skit you were Katie Volukovich. Yeah. Who
That's
else
like
do
one
you
of the
think?
first ones.
Yeah. Who else do you think you could portray for Quinnipiac tonight?
I can't do you, bro. You too. You're too different
I'm
in like
too
a good
different.
way. In a good way. Low-key, they all kind of hard, but like I just like do like stereotypes of them or like just quirks they
like
have.
little caricatures. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are quite a funky bunch of people.
Sure. I see that. Good people though.
Definitely a great one. I like that you said that. Like, yeah, in life it's not about the places, it's about the people. And like Quinnipiac tonight
100%.
wouldn't be what it is without like all the amazing people who welcomed us there and that are still there, and that we're gonna be meeting now with so many new members.
You know, now
joining the
that
club.
Grace is gone, it's such a much more welcoming environment, right?
Yeah.
She's not gonna watch this.
Yeah.
I'll play it. She's good people.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
I'm wearing her band right now.
Yeah, I see her merch.
You get this on camera. It says
Yeah.
burner alert. I bought it off her for like $5.
Yeah, we're looking at it in 4K. Literally in 4K.
That's beautiful.
Exactly. Yeah, and I had Grace Parisi on here. One of my really was my last Zicast of last semester when I was here. So
Is this your first one?
this is my second that I've recorded here.
Okay.
So yeah,
I just missed it.
but don't worry. It's about the here and now, like you said, being in the moment.
Yeah, exactly though.
So one thing, like talking about kind of like the work you've been doing in comedy and acting, like one thing that's always stood out to me is your stage presence. So I'd like to ask you how you're present in the scene, like in improv.
Man, well, I grew up in I went to like a pre-K to like 8th grade Catholic school. Like that's just the way my school was. And they would make us sing every year in front of like an audience or like the parents or like the other like students or whatever. I think because of that, they kind of taught us to just like, because like kids are scared, right? Kids are scared of like doing anything in front of other people. Like my little sister, Amaya, she's only 6 and she's like terrified of other people. But when she goes in my room, she starts like hitting me. I'm like, what are we doing? But you just learn to like look at like one thing in the back and like forget everything else, like just pretend like it's blurry, right? If that that kind of helps with like trying to control like a big crowd or like just not see it, right? Just pretending like it's a much lesser crowd. Like, you know how people like practice speeches in the mirror, right? It's kind of like the same concept. Just like pretend you're just doing the speech like at home, or you're doing the whole improv at home by yourself, and there's no one there to like embarrass you, because you can't embarrass yourself.
Yeah, that's a great piece of advice to kind of. I've heard that too, like to hone in on something.
Yeah.
To kind of, in your own way, block out all the eyes and all the attention. It's sort of like an athlete playing in a game. Like you're kind of just focusing on the game and not all the prying eyes. But also, I'm interested, like when you are present in improv, like how do you kind of come up with things on the fly? That's always something that's very difficult.
I don't know. I guess I think of like one topic and kind of yap about that for a bit, see where that goes. Try to make it like somewhat coherent, so it doesn't sound like I'm just like, blabbing off about nothing, right? I think they're gonna do more improv, or from what I heard like this year, which kind of is like, I don't know. I don't know how to feel about that, because I'm not really the best at improv. I feel I can't really think of a scenario where I was like, I was really like working. I guess maybe that one time on I think it was like Valentine's Day of that Q Tonight show, and it was like it was like me, I think Jack, and what was his name? The other guy, Tino,
maybe Brian.
Was it Brian?
He was there with us as well during the spring. Brian and Tino were new members.
Yeah, I think it was Tino though.
Okay.
Yeah, it was him, and it was like, Grace asked us like a question each, and we have to respond in a way to like make her love us or some funny thing like that.
Riz.
Yeah, exactly. Right. I knew the questions beforehand, but I only was prepared for 4 of them, and she asked me the other 2 that I didn't get, and I that worked out, I think, because people laughed at that. I forgot what I said, but I don't want to check it because I'm scared.
Yeah, you're jogging my memory, because now I'm remembering that as well from Valentine's Day. And Grace was always harping improv, and then we started to do some more of it down the stretch last year. But we do have like I always just marvel at you guys and like your ability to do that, because like that's one of the things that my mind hasn't completely wrapped itself around, is like improv. Like even in your audition for Quinnipiac tonight, when they show you a picture and you're supposed to create a whole scene or a whole monologue out of it, or like in your situation like a 5-minute long monologue.
Yeah, because Madison, she nah, I can't
cut the timer off.
I can't you might have to cut this out, right? Yeah. Madison's good people, but I don't know. I do think they're gonna do a great job, Jeff Fish and Madison. And I don't know. I think something that this isn't controversial. I think something that could have been done better, at least like the last semester, was just more in-person writing sessions. Because like that kind of like dynamic died down. Like I feel like it wasn't as strong, because like we weren't all gathered together in like a room together to like actually write it. It was just Grace like in her bed on Zoom with hella snacks. Like that's crazy. That's crazy. But yeah, I mean they both live on campus, so I'm sure there's gonna be more of that, which I'm looking forward to. And yeah, we actually have a meeting tonight, right? Around like 9:15, like only like 3 hours after this, kind of.
Yeah, the first meeting of the semester, and that's a great point. That when you're in person, everything is just different, and that's not really on anyone specifically. It's just those rooms would be booked, and it's hard to find places on campus. Like sometimes that's something I note, that sometimes on campus it's hard to find a place that's not your dorm to like actually like just talk to someone.
Yes, just sit down and like have like not even like a big group of people, just like let's say like a group of 6, like to actually just sit down, kind of like be somewhat quiet. You know, because like they have a bunch of rooms you can rent and stuff, but it's like
Yeah, that's hard to do.
it's hard to do, man.
And then yeah, just a private place where you could like talk to people that's like not your dorm, because like there's a library, but they're like the glass. It's like you're in the zoo.
Yeah,
Because there's just like
kinda.
these glass windows that everyone can see in. So there's, and the people can hear you too. So there's like no privacy in theirs. So it's like, yeah, like this studio is a private place like that you could go into.
Kind of, yeah.
That yeah, campus is lacking. But I very much agree, and that's one thing kind of about Quinnipiac tonight is the collaborative space it is, and the way that we were able to kind of come up with things together. That's why I'm always happy for like everyone's input when I'm like creating a sketch.
Definitely do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I think I might be tweaking right now. I'm looking at you right now. You look great. No, I'm playing. No, but wait, hold on. No, it's like, do you have something? Did you put something on?
I did not.
Like, cause I feel, I know I'm not tweaking right now, cause like I feel like you're, what's it called? Like your the surrounding your eyes is like a little white.
Maybe I'm just glowing.
I think this. No, I think this light does you good.
Let me look at.
It's like, you know what I mean?
It is very.
Do
It's
you
very
see what I'm
pretty
talking about?
lighting.
It's
yeah.
like right here.
I do see it. Yeah. I think the light is just making me look angelic. I don't.
That's
think,
fantastic.
I think yeah, it's flattering. It's like those old Hollywood movies, like Casablanca, when they would just like shine the light on the actresses to make them look like angelic. I think that's just that, but for me.
That's beautiful, dude. Also, you kind of scared me when you raised your arm a bit. Please don't do
did?
that again. I saw
Sorry.
your yeah. I saw your fucking shit. Oh, hi.
The cat's out of the bag.
Yeah. I saw like your arm like flex like a vein. I was like,
Oh yeah.
Like get away from me.
Yeah,
bro.
I do have some veiny arms.
Remember
yeah.
the what was it called? The arm wrestling thing we were doing that one time?
Yeah.
You actually won that.
I did. I won the Quinnipiac Tonight arm wrestling.
You beat MKF, and he is like crazy. Like he has MKF strength.
He does have MKF.
Right?
He does have MKF strength. Yeah,
That's like crazy, dude.
He's a big man. He's a tank.
He actually like made my arm sore.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, I went up against him. I went up against Mick Hanley, in the
Cool.
championship round,
Yeah.
and I went up against that. Yeah, that was a fun experience.
I think I beat Nick.
You went up against.
Yeah, I hope
Nick.
he watches this and remembers that.
Yeah, maybe we need some rematches.
No. Rematches? No.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we're tired. We'll hang the gloves up. Yeah. But something else interesting about you that you do is that you model. So I'd like to ask you about your modeling work and what you seek to achieve in that industry.
This is a whole thing.
Okay.
Right? I think, when did I tell you about that?
I remember we were in class and you were talking
we were
about.
in class and I showed you like the text message, right?
Yeah.
You're like, yo, look at this. Because like I think I was just bored, right? Or like I wanted to see if they would just like let me do it, right? So I went on like a site. I just looked up modeling agencies, New York City, because that's where I'm from.
Yeah.
And clicked on the first link I saw, put my info in, waited to see if I got a text or a call, and they actually texted me back like, hey, let's see if we could do something. And that's like after showing them like a photo of me. I don't know what photo I picked because I have like 0 good photos. So it must have been like
average male experience.
No, yeah.
Having like no good photos of yourself.
It must have been like, I don't know, maybe only like up here.
Yeah.
But I was super shocked. Then they called me after that. Then the guy just asked me like my like how much I weigh, my height. I mentioned like, I was like 5'7". He's like, so maybe not runway, right? Which is fair.
Yeah.
But yeah. But the more questions he kept asking, the stranger it seemed. I was like, yo, this has got to be like a scheme or like some type of like scam, right?
Like a pyramid scheme.
Like a pyramid scheme.
Yeah.
No. So I was like, I called my mom up. I was like, hey, I'm gonna do this thing. I'm going to go to the shoot. I'm going to write down everything that happens to see if this is a scheme. Because I was not going to go through with it, right? Or I'll get to it. But, like, I did not trust him one bit. So I went, when the time came, I went down to 34th Street. And this really thin, like, cramped, very not professional, like, kind of ghetto,
Yeah.
like office, you know,
Mm.
and like from there they had me bring my own clothes, like different like types of clothes, right? They had me bring my own clothes, and they sat me down, prettied me up.
Mm.
And I started asking questions to everybody. That was working there was freelance.
Hmm.
So nobody was actually associated with like the actual guy who
Totally
owned
not
the thing.
sketch.
It is sketch. Right? And I asked them like, "Yo, how long you been doing this?" Like, "Oh, 2 months." And the other ones are like, "Oh, like a year or so." Like, but they're all freelance, so like they don't
They have no
really
clue. Yeah.
they don't care
Mm.
what's going on. So when I did the shoots, I had one good photo, or I it's my Instagram profile picture.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Yeah, from it. But after that, I was called into the office, like the guy, I forgot his name, like James or something.
Mm.
I went to his office, and he started telling me like, you know, he started glazing me a bit, right?
Mm. Buttering you up.
Yeah, he started buttering me up, talking
Yeah.
about, you know, I think you actually have a chance, you know, if you. This is where it gets crazy. He was talking because it's not technically a model. Like I wouldn't model for them.
Mm.
He said he'd help me find like agencies to go to, and that I'd spend money for him so that he can help me, like, because he offered me like postcards or like to like set up like accounts and stuff, and the prices started at like 5,000 to all the way up to 13,000 like packages. I was like, I looked at my mom, and I think she knew in my head. I was like, yeah, fuck all that, right? Because that was like kind of the dead giveaway. What was it called? Man, I think it was called like Map Studios, something like that, which is a big like scheme. I was gonna write it for my one of my final projects, but I got lazy. I just did something else for my final project, but yeah, I just after that I pretty much like I was playing it off pretty well, like, oh yeah, I'd love to do it, yeah, right. But when he mentioned like the money and stuff, he's like, yeah, you know, this might not be for me, but can I keep one of the photos though? And he was super disappointed, like his face dropped. What? I'm sorry, like I thought you were like interested. I'm like, oh yeah, but it's just, you know, maybe not right now. He's like, well, you only have one chance to do this, right? Well, that's how they get you.
Exactly.
He's like,
put
don't
the
miss your
pressure on
chance, right?
Yeah.
You only have one shot. He's like, come on, right? I was like, can I just get one of those photos? He's like, $50. All right, and then we left. That was it. And that's probably gonna be it for anything in that like industry, at least for me. I really just did it because I was bored, you know, and I got a funny story out of it.
Yeah.
And you learn, like, it also taught me to be very careful about like dumb like stupid shit you see on the internet. Like, don't believe everything.
Yeah.
Right. Be very careful like where you put your card info.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank God. Right. But yeah, just be careful from like all these, because even the places that were like they hired all like freelance and stuff like to make it look official, but none of it was official.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, maybe down the road you'll go back into the modeling agency.
I don't think I got
work.
it.
Not that guy, but modeling work.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's definitely a great like street smarts teaching, to like go to some place like that and just like one-on-one like feeling somebody out and like and knowing what's not right.
They were getting like people, because there was some other like people there for like to get their shoots, you know. And I was asking them like, yo, do you feel like this place sketchy at all? And they're like, oh well, it's free. You know, to do the shooting is free, but to actually go through with it, they don't tell you that till like after.
Exactly, yeah, which is like a scheme.
Which is like, that's where the thing is like, oh, don't miss your shot, right? Like, and there was one dude from like Philly that was there. His name was like Anthony or something. He was like 22. He's from Philly. And he went all the way to New York like yesterday, or like the day of.
Yeah,
like, it was like from yesterday to just go to that, which is crazy to me. I feel like he definitely spent like 1,300 like like that day, right?
Just on that, yeah.
That's so like, it's scummy, but better him than me, right?
Yeah, it's like those dudes at like Times Square or Hollywood Boulevard where they like give you their mixtape, and then once like it's in your hands, they like try to charge you for it.
I'm gonna run from him.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
like,
I'm not picking up. Dude, every time at Times Square, no, not just New York, right? People complain like, "Oh, New Yorkers are so mean." Like,
just real.
What?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Like, I see videos of people like dancing on the trains and stuff, and in the comments they're like, well, "How is nobody like entertained?" Because I see that shit every day, right? Like, it's not fun to like just imagine there's a dude streaking out every day on the quad, so it's just straight streaking, junk out, everything.
Yeah.
Every day. I think at some point you're not gonna even bother to like look in that direction,
You'll be
right?
Unfazed. Yeah.
You're unfazed because like it's the same thing. So like you see the same thing. Like I've seen all sorts of like weird people on the subway all the time. There was this one time. This might be the worst, low key. No, there's 2 times.
Okay.
The first time, I went on the R train. And I never take this train. I just got dropped off in this weird spot, but like I had to head back up, uptown. I went on the R train, walked into the cable car, and I was like, "It smells like ass." And then this is what I see, because I looked up like off my phone. The door already shut behind me, so I'm locked in this situation, right? There's no escape. Everybody, and I'm talking like a big crowd, like 25 people, all the way on one side of the car. And there's this one dude that smells like shit on the other corner, laughing to himself. He's like laughing and like rubbing his belly.
Oh my god!
Right? And I'm like, oh shit! All right, I'm just gonna join those guys over there. I think I can piece 2 together.
Yeah.
He shit himself,
Oh
and everyone's trying to get as far away as possible. And like it was so bad. It was like tearing up. Like one of them
That's
tearing
so
up
bad.
shits.
Oh my god!
Right? I made eye contact with one of the dudes on the other side, and he just looked at me like, like we all feeling the same way right now. The other thing that happened was I was much younger. I was with my dad at the time. Rest in peace. But nah, he's not. He's not dead. But this old guy is. There's 2 old dudes. One had a cane. The other, like, one had like a little cane with the tennis balls on it. The other one was just like kind of hunch, right? I don't know what the fuck happened. I don't know why they started arguing. He started swinging at him with a cane. I was like, yo. I was like 10 at the time, so like I just like we didn't get involved, right? We're just sitting down, just making sure we're far enough where they don't hit us.
Yeah.
And it's like. when the door opened, the hunch guy, he tried leaving, and then this dude with the cane started charging at him like fucking medieval times. And I was like, oh shit. And he fell like that, and some guys they just like pulled him apart, and that was that.
Oh my god.
Those are 2 of my favorites. Every other time is like some stupid shit, like some dude talking to himself or some girl. I saw some girl like sucking on a. It's like one of them like dick candies, like the dick shaped candies. And she dressed like all crazy and shit. I gotta stop. I know. You said you swear.
This
I was
is
like,
entertaining content.
okay,
I mean,
cool.
Yeah, like when I was in LA, I didn't have a car, so like I would take the subway sometimes. So I know
LA subways. How's that?
They're
hot as shit, I bet.
Yeah, I mean they're probably tamer than New York subways. Like you see your interesting people, but I never had an experience like a man soiling his trousers, or an elderly fight or elderly joust on the subway. But yeah, there are some interesting experiences of like tweaked out people like yelling to themselves, or like
that's just like every day.
Yeah.
Right? And like people also like doing like pull-ups on the thing. It's like come on, right? And like singing like beggars. Like sometimes I give money to beggars sometimes, but you can kind of tell at this point that's like if they're actually like using it for like their families. I really want to give beggars like people like kids or something, because like with the other ones you can't really know.
Yeah.
And it's like there's no way that kid's gonna be alive if, you know.
Yeah.
It's just like those are like sad, like scary stuff.
Definitely.
And it is kind of like unfortunate because New Yorkers do become like seeing homeless people like just becomes like mundane. Like I kind of like you don't really have empathy. I'm not. This sounds crazy, I know, but like, where are you from again? You're from around here.
I'm from
You're
North
around
Haven.
here, so
yeah.
I don't know if you've seen like a lot of like homeless people
in LA.
in LA. Yeah,
There's
LA,
a ton
yes,
of it in LA.
yes. But I'm talking like every day of your life, right? You can't give money to every right. And sometimes if someone like begging to like starts begging, and they're like on the subway just starts begging like as they going down the aisle, going down all cable cars, just don't look at them. I'm down on my phone like this, just don't look at them. Have headphones on. These ones right here.
Yep.
And it's just like,
it's hard. Yeah.
It's hard because like it feels shitty, but like you can't help everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great point where it's like sometimes we become like so desensitized.
Yeah. It's a hard word. I was trying to say it. I don't know why I was trying to correct you. I was not going to say that shit.
Yeah, but like it's just hard, like just natural of like kind of exactly what you said, that it's like you can't help everybody even though you want to and you really should. It's just like hard to like give money to everybody because like you said, you never know where it's going.
Yeah.
And like like in LA there's a ton of homelessness too, especially around where we were in downtown LA, and then you see a lot of it on the subways too.
Dominican Republic, I went like 4 years ago. I saw some crazy shit down there. That's like where my family's from. But on the beach, like the first day there's some dude selling like turtle dick to like eat.
Is it like a delicacy?
Yeah, I had one. It was pretty.
Oh my god! How was it?
I don't remember. I don't think it was like I didn't spit it out.
Damn.
But it was that. Another guy started selling tasers. I don't think it was the same guy. I think it was a guy behind him. He started saying tasers. He tased me with one. No, I'm playing. But yeah, it's just like much more extreme because like compared to like Coney Island, they just be selling you like fruits or like beers.
Yeah.
You know, not turtle dick and tasers.
What a combo.
What a combo, right?
Yeah.
And my taxi driver there, I had to pick up his gun off the. Like I was like 13, right? No, more like 14. I was like 14, and I was about to hop in the back of the taxi, and then I saw a gun there. I'm like, oh, and I don't know what was going through my mind. I picked it up, not on the trigger, on the barrel, if that's what you call it. I'm not good with guns. Yeah. And I was like, here you go, and I gave it back to the taxi driver. He's like, oh, thank you. So super nonchalant. Like I just handed him like a phone.
Like happened before.
No, yeah.
Exactly. Like it's like he drops it all the time.
If he kills somebody with that, he probably killed somebody. But if he kills somebody with that gun, my prints are on the gun. But yeah, man. Well, it never came back to me, so it is what it is.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, it happens. Yeah, I mean,
it happens, bro.
The turtle pee-pee, did it bring you out of your shell?
Oh yeah. Yeah, you're a funny guy.
Yeah, I'm a funny guy.
I should buy some.
Should buy some?
We should do a little mukbang here.
Well, and bring in some
turtle cock.
Turtle cock. Bring it to Quinnipiac tonight. Post show, we're gonna have some delicacy. Next with some tasers.
Yeah.
With a combo.
Nasty.
Yeah, I never thought we'd bond over subway stories.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty to speak about. You know, you see something new every day. I have seen. I don't know if you've seen this guy, but he was like there's this homeless dude who's notorious for wearing like baggy, gray sweatpants.
Yeah.
No shirt, no socks, no nothing. He's just like hella dirty, and he's always on Instagram Reels. I've seen him, and he was like, ooh, I should not say this.
What?
He was like arm deep in his ass, like. Like elbow deep.
Elbow deep.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna take the local. I ain't going to the express, bro.
Oh my god, that completely took the entire, no pun intended, train of thought out of my mind.
I hope I didn't take up too much time talking about some ass. Talking about some stupid shit.
I mean, it leads us perfectly into what I was gonna ask you, which
does it really?
How living in New York City is and how it contrasts with being in
It's
Hampton.
not that ghetto. I live in a great spot. It's not as ghetto at all as I've described to you.
Yeah.
At least not my spot, because I'm from Upper West Side Manhattan. That's like a nice little spot, much better before. My dad,
Mm.
who lived on the same block, with my grandma,
Mhm.
uh, it was very ghetto
Mm.
when he was growing up. Like they didn't have a lot of money. They didn't have a lot. They couldn't have like a lot of food.
Mm.
Like him and his two best friends had to bring their money together to buy like a 20-piece chicken McNugget from
Mm.
McDonald's.
Mm.
And there used to be like race wars,
Mm.
right? Like between like not really the adults or just like the teens and
Mm.
shit. Just because like everyone
Yeah.
like was ignorant back then.
Kind of like do the right thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. Like just like do the right thing. If you've seen that movie, you were there.
Mhm.
But like my dad and his friends, like they were all Hispanic,
Mm.
and it was against the the black kids,
Mhm.
like 3 blocks down. But like
Mhm.
I don't know what came of that. I don't think anything crazy, but like compared to now,
Yeah.
right, you see like everybody on like that block because they have a supermarket, so now it's like nice, right? Now we got a familia across the block.
It was
Little-
bougie.
Yeah, it's bougie. We got a dive bar, a CVS right there.
Mm.
Yeah, man.
Got made.
Yeah, it got made. It was a much. I mean, I'm happy to grow up like where I
Mm.
am now, right? I'm happy to live in like the era I am now.
Mm.
That's crazy. I always like hated when people are like, oh, I wish I lived in this era. No, you don't. You're gonna
Yeah.
you want to get hit. Like, I wish I could marry Elvis. Bitch, he's gonna slap the fuck out of you. Like, what? What are you talking about?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But it's unfortunate. But like, living now in the present is so much. I take this 1,000% over living in any other era.
yeah.
Because this is like my, like it's what made me, right?
Exactly.
Like I probably wouldn't try I don't know, screenwriting if it was like dominated by whatever, right?
yeah.
I'm trying to bring up like a good point here, but I just can't get to
No,
it.
I totally get what you mean.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like you wouldn't be doing this podcast, right?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. I'd be, I don't know, radio show or something like that. But yeah, we're all byproducts of our eras and the ways that we act. And especially looking back on people, like you wonder sometimes with a lot of people from the past how they would have acted if they had kind of been in today's times with kind of the way societal like norms change over time.
Yeah.
It's interesting. And like, kind of ask you more about like living in New York City. Like how do you get around?
How you get
typically?
around?
Yeah. We know about the subway, but
the subway. Yeah. I used to take the bus a lot, especially from school.
Hmm.
Like I started leaving. I live on the Upper West Side, but I
Mm.
went to school on the Upper East Side,
Hmm.
which means I had to take the bus across Central Park.
Hmm.
And I started doing that like when I was like in the 6th grade,
Hmm.
and that's also the time like I got my phone for the first time.
Hmm.
So yeah, I mean, kids kind of grew up fast in New York,
Yeah. Kind of getting around like that.
getting
that's
around
something
like having some sort of like independence. Kind of. My mom was always on me though.
yeah.
She had the like Find My, like to
Find
make sure
My
where
iPhone.
I'm
Yeah.
at.
Keep
If my phone died on the bus, she assumed I get kidnapping and started
Yeah.
like calling people like to see where I am.
Mm. Yeah, as good moms do.
Of course, yeah.
They always want to keep track of where we are. But you're doing that in the 6th grade. I was doing that in junior in college, in LA. Like I thought I was so cool, like getting around, like knowing buses and trains. But you were doing that from when you were young. And
I mean, you didn't need to do that because you live in Connecticut. They ain't going,
Yeah.
like you probably learned how to drive right when you hit 16, right?
I was a kid who waited. I was like more 18
18?
when I started learning how to drive. And I would just like drive in my high school parking lot or around my town.
Yeah.
Cause like it's interesting. Like kind of growing up. North Haven's not really a small town, but like has like a small town feel, and that's interesting. Like venturing out to cities, and I'm sure like you being in New York, like the experiences are kind of different in that way.
Definitely different feel. Like first time I came up here, it was definitely like different, but that's what I wanted. I wanted it to be different. But it's also like not too far where I can't come back home. Like I could come back home like this weekend, right? Like it's no big deal. It's like it's like a $15 2-hour train ride.
Yeah, but it's far enough away to where
It's far enough to have like be independent. Like
Yeah.
I didn't go all the way up to like Oswego or Buffalo,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like 7-hour trip. They ain't never go see me again, right?
Yeah, and Hamden's kind of similar in some ways to like North Haven. So like you're kind of in this like town that's still very populated in its own ways, especially with the big Quinnipiac community here.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, and kind of moving onwards, I'd like to ask you some kind of more personal things. Like, what are some things that people may not know about you?
Man.
Like a fun fact.
Fun fact. Nothing about me is fun, bro. There's like, I can't think of like a fun fact. I guess, well, you know that stereotype about Hispanic families being big?
Sure.
It's very true. At least in my case. My grandfather had I think he was illegal, or I think he was undocumented.
Mm-hmm.
But he went on to, or he came into the US
Mm-hmm.
straight from DR, and across the entire country had 9 different baby mamas.
Wow.
Yeah. When my grandmother like learned about it, like she like bye, right? But yeah. So there's a lot of cousins I have that I don't know what they are. I don't know who they look like.
Where they are. Yeah.
You know, I could. Hopefully, I don't marry one. Fuck.
Yeah,
right? That'd be terrible.
Yeah. Oh, look at our new baby.
Oh, it's like a.
Why does he have 3 eyes?
It looks like Grace, right? That's disrespect.
Yeah.
I'm repping her band right now. It's all love.
You're making it up to her. Just comes out of the womb, boner alert. But yeah, that you're connected. Yeah, you got
sure. I got a lot of connections by blood. You know, I'm slightly related to Elon Musk.
Really?
Slightly. His great grandfather and my great grandfather were brothers.
Really?
I don't know what that makes us, but it's weird because I'm slightly, very slightly, like 0.0000 whatever German.
Huh.
I learned that because he's German, and yeah, that's where that connection is. So I'm somewhat I always like hope that he did like a Mr. Beast type thing, where he just gives all of his distant relatives like 1% cash or whatever, which would be like life altering money, right? But that's never gonna happen.
That's insane. How did you find that out?
My grandmother, because my great grandmother, who I knew, I knew my great grandmother for like 10 years, right? Like all the kids were like born like pretty young, like they all like started families like pretty young. So I was able to know my great grandparents for like a bit. Like her, I guess it would be her great grandparent or grandparent. I can't think of it right now. Yeah, it's confusing, but that's how that story goes. Yeah.
Wow. You're related to Elon Musk. That's not something I knew. That's
you don't see it, right?
Nah.
Don't even say that, bro. There's actually zero resemblance.
I maybe like head structure, I sort of see it.
Is that a good thing? She's smiling. I don't. Oh, she's okay. I think that's a bad thing. I think you're insulting me.
I'm not insulting you. I'm not insulting. I semi see it. It's very low percentage.
Yeah, very low.
Very, very low. But now that you say, I
sure.
I see a small percentage.
You see that small percentage?
Yeah. Oh, well, Matt, I hope he
a little German, bro.
Yeah.
Yuck.
Yeah.
Not play.
Maybe he'll reach out someday, and you'll get your 1%.
Never gonna happen, bro.
Never know.
But no, it's not gonna.
This episode will be out there on YouTube, on Spotify.
Yeah, if he finds me.
Yeah.
You know, I'm right here.
You're a Quinnipiac. He knows where to find you.
Exactly. He ain't gonna do all that, bro. He's too busy. What does he do? Like.
He runs what? SpaceX. He runs
Tesla.
X. Yeah, Tesla.
X. Yeah.
So a lot.
He's making a shit show of that.
Yeah, you're making a lot of X's. Yeah. So kind of moving onwards, I'd like to ask you your hopes and dreams, professionally or in general.
I'm not gonna say that. I do hope I do hope that all of this, like the classes I'm taking, the friends I'm making, the people, I'm meeting, leads me to like start my career because I do want to be like a screenwriter. That's
Mm.
like the most. I don't know why it hit me. It's just like I always thought like, oh, making movies could be fun. Like even when I was a little kid. So when I did like a screenwriting program at New York Film Academy over summer, I was like, wow, this was amazing. I want to pursue this. And that's the whole reason I came to Quinnipiac, because they had like a 3+1 thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And it just sounded like really nice on paper, you know. And yeah, I'm definitely happy I came here. I can't see myself anywhere else, right? And even if I did go somewhere else, like, I wouldn't be me.
Yeah.
Or at least like as of now, right? On some like type of like corny shit, but like that's true, bro. Like I wouldn't I wouldn't be talking to like some of my good friends like today.
I feel the same in my regard too. And that's great that you kind of found your calling in screenwriting. And there's so much, like, there's a screenwriting class, and there's so many ways through things like the Film Society, like through like Quinnipiac Tonight, where you can kind of exercise those skills. And that's one of the great things Quinnipiac has, is they just have so much to offer. And I'm glad that you're taking advantage of that. And like the 3+1 thing, like I was talking to Brianna before this, and she has a similar situation where 3+1 was really tempting to her as well.
Yeah.
Another thing I want to bring up to you, I think podcasting could be in your future too.
Podcasting?
Yeah, like the way that you tell stories, like you did earlier, like that's what we love in podcasting.
I mean, I love telling stories. You know, some of them not true, but everyone I've said on here is true.
Exactly.
I'll give you that, but
we get authenticity on the Zicast. But yeah, kind of being, you know, at 7 at Keys, in Los Angeles, like you see the professional podcasters, the way they act, it's just like they have a very natural charisma on camera that I feel like you have. And also like just knowing like really big ones like Theo Von, like you see what he does, he could
man, I be talking like, yeah.
But even like his way that he could just like pull things out of his mind, his very insane mind, and just like put that out
it's
there
always
for
fun.
Amazing content. Yeah, it's always fun. Or like, you know, Bobby Lee, Andrew Santino on Bad Friends, like what they're able to do. I think podcasting could be a thing in your future if you wanted to get into that.
I mean, that's very nice of you, dude. You know, it's always fun. Like like just doing this is a lot of fun. Like I'm having a great time. But yeah, you know, I could kind of see it. I just like, I think it's a little bit of work, which low-key, I mean, it's rewarding. Like you get to talk to all your friends and stuff, and like talk to people and get like closer and like a deeper connection. And yeah, you know, maybe if I give it some thought, if I get a couple people with me on it, then yeah, something cool we can make something cool out of it.
You never know what it could be. It could be you with any of your buddies just talking. That's really what like Bad Friends is. They show up and they
get
do
racy.
They do.
Do you want me to get racy on this? No, I'm playing.
I said you could do whatever you want. I want my guests to be they're full of selves. But I mean, I'm always open, because you know what? It's great content for me to put out there. So I'm always open to it. But I also like to ask you, like, some of your favorite movies.
My favorite movies?
Yeah.
I actually did a list like the other day with my friends, because we were talking about movies to watch.
Perfect.
This is gonna be in no order whatsoever. My top 4 favorite movies: Matilda, the one directed by Danny DeVito, back in the day. It wasn't the musical one. I saw the musical on Broadway. It was nice, but I grew up on that movie. Everything I had that on DVD as a kid. I was a big Blu-ray DVD kid. I would rewatch those movies over and over and over again. Yeah. I don't know what it is
as
about,
we
like,
did. Yeah.
I don't know why like kids did that. Like I don't know why we did that. I guess just like, I mean, at the time, I guess like we didn't have the big array.
Yeah.
Of like
just streaming services.
Services, just like watch stuff. But even my little sister, I mentioned her before, Maya, like when Luca came out, that movie with the fish people.
Yeah.
She would just rewatch that over and over and over again. Like she would memorize the lines. I'm like, Amaya, go watch something else, and can you do it not in my room? Right.
I'm glad it's like a universal thing that kids are still doing.
Yeah,
that.
it's weird. I mean, I guess it's like, I mean, if you like it once, you're gonna like it again and again and again, right? But back to my movies, I'd say Shrek 2. I had all the Shreks. I watched them all.
Yep.
Shrek 2 is my favorite. What else, man? Ponyo. I don't know if you know Ponyo. It is what's that thing called? Studio Ghibli. Ghibli.
Yeah.
You heard of that studio? They do like the anime movies.
Yeah, I've seen My Neighbor Totoro.
Yeah. Ponyo. I watched that one with my mom all the time. I remember like sitting down on her bed, eating brownies, watching like these movies, right?
Mm-hmm.
That always like brings back good memories.
Mm-hmm.
And man, I'm trying to think. I think well, I can't think of another movie, but I say one of my favorite shows that growing up was Digimon. I don't know if it's like I guess you could call it ghetto Pokemon, because that's kind of what it was. But it had a better story, definitely 100%. I'll die on that hill. And I remember when it ended, I cried.
Damn.
I was.
It impacted you.
It impacted me. How old was I? 9 or what? Like 8, whatever. I remember tearing up. It wasn't even like a sad finale. It was just like, oh my god, the show's over, and I started weeping.
Wow.
And it's like that.
That's
Having
powerful.
that. I wish I had that. I wish stuff came out today that had that effect on me, because I haven't cried to like watching anything ever since.
Wow. Because it was a time and a place.
I guess
yeah.
I was alone in the living room watching on the big TV with no shirt on.
As kids
getting
do.
a mad hype, right? But when it ended, I was like, damn. I just sat on my couch.
Soak it in, yeah.
Soaked it in.
This was a moment in time.
Yeah, leaving my ass print on the couch.
Yeah. As we do.
Yeah.
So overall, Mike, thank you so much for coming on here. This was fun, and it's always great getting to work with you, getting to chat with you. I'm always amazed by what you're able to do on stage, what you're able to do in sketches, and I'm excited to hopefully have you on some more and to continue working with you.
Of course, dude. I'd be happy to come along anytime. You know, if you're lacking a certain somebody, then bring me on there. Or if somebody doesn't want to talk too much, just call me over. I head that back.
Yeah.
I don't know, get some words out of them.
Yeah.
We'll figure that out.
We'll get some. You'll be our spark plug.
Exactly.
Our personality hire.
Fire.
Here at the Zicast.
That's great, dude. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. Thank you.
Get that on camera. Yep.
Will do. Yeah. So as always, this is Ryan Zayaks with the Zicast, where everyone has a story. Signing off. Thank you so much for watching.